In tonight's deep dive, we're taking a closer look at sleeper cells. ABC News confirms an alert was sent to law enforcement agencies warning Iran may be trying to activate covert operatives in the West. For more, let's bring in ABC News contributor and former NYPD chief of detectives Robert Boyce and former senior director for counterterrorism on the National Security Council, Javed Ali. Thank you both for joining us. Javed, I want to start with you. Break down for us what a sleeper cell is. We've heard a lot about this in the last week or so and how there may be possible sleeper cells in this country. Break that down for us. What is it exactly, and what are some of the concerns here in the U.S.?
So, Stephanie, nice to be with you. And this term sleeper cell is being bandied about, and it has multiple meanings. But in one of those contexts, it could refer to either known operatives from a foreign government, like in this case, like Iran, or from a foreign terrorist organization, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, that are then positioned in another country and up until a particular moment or point have not been detected by that home or that home country's intelligence services or law enforcement agencies, and that they have been operating very quietly, hence the term sleeper. So if that's the right framework to put around the term, this message that was sent out by either FBI or Homeland Security to law enforcement nationwide is interesting because it suggests that there could be that communication to some networks or cells outside of the Middle East or outside of Iran, but it's not clear where those elements might be. And it didn't suggest that they were actually here in the United States either.
Interesting. So known as operatives from foreign governments. Robert, let's talk a little bit about the explosives found here in New York City. Those explosives thrown near the mayor's residence. And those are being investigated as a potential ISIS-inspired act of terrorism. And today, the NYPD gave an all clear after investigating a different suspicious package. So what's your take on the situation and what we've learned the last couple of days?
Well, Stephanie, good to be on with you. We've seen TATP before, and now we saw it again in this latest incident. Now, we have lone wolves for the most part for the last couple of years. We haven't had a cell conspiracy attack in quite some time. So right now we're looking at this TATP. It's the thing about it that's so dramatic is it's so easy to get the parts to start this explosive device. And that's why the big threat here. In 2009, we had Najibullah Zazi, who tried to blow up three suicide individuals in the New York City subway. Since then, we haven't seen it. And now it's here, and it's done by two individuals, young men from Pennsylvania. So that's what we're looking at right now. It's unusual. It's a very volatile substance and very hard to set off as well. So that's what we're looking at right now. But most of these things have been lone wolves. In my time as chief of detectives, I had 3 cases, all lone wolves. This seems to be the same thing, absence any new information on the case.
And thankfully, no one was hurt here in New York City due to those devices. And Javed, how do intelligence agencies work to stop sleeper cell threats if they exist here in the country?
That's a great question, Stephanie. So the first part of this is having the right intelligence to detect whether there are people on the ground, and in this case, the United States, that have those links to either a foreign government or a foreign terrorist organization. And that is really difficult because there are times, and there have been moments, certainly in my career in counterterrorism, and then even after I left in 2018, where there have been people inside the United States who had links who weren't discovered prior to their entry. Now, thankfully, there haven't been those kind of attacks, but that's the type of threat. You need really good intelligence to know who these people are. And if they are here, then they should be under surveillance, if not arrested. And we haven't heard the news of anyone being arrested over the past few days in connection to events going on overseas, at least with the foreign ties that I'm talking about. So that's the type of work that goes on. So you have to have a really good understanding of what's happening here in the homeland, but also understand if there are clues or indicators on the foreign intelligence side, and then piecing those things together to find people.
Yeah, and like Robert mentioned, thankfully, that sleeper cell hasn't been an issue in the last couple of years. And Robert, we know that federal agencies get involved in this when it comes to the intelligence, but how can local law enforcement agencies help recognize sleeper cell activity?
Stephanie, most big cities have intelligence bureaus, and New York City does as well, and they work hand in hand with JTTFs across the country. So these assets that we have on the ground, share information and get it to FBI agents and other intelligence agencies to develop them. In 2023, there was an individual arrested who gave up a lot of information about Hezbollah. Hezbollah has an active, is what we're concerned about right now because of its Iranian proxy. Has influence in 4 states in the United States. All right, so it's 4, New York being one of them. So we have a big hand in this, and we're working with our federal partners to stem these attacks as best we can.
All agencies on alert right now. Robert Boyce, Javed Ali, thank you both.